Hello everyone and welcome back to another race weekend at Portimao, Portugal. Race number 6 for this calendar for this season. Hoping we're gonna get a great race once again. Apparently we're gonna have a wet race, so if that's the case, it's going to be nuts. And we get our first car out on track. So let's go on board with El Trucker. Ooh, oh. Rear back snap just a bit. So really hard track on ERS, even in quali. I mean, you just drain your battery for not even a whole lap, so it's going to be tough during the actual race. But yeah, also really hard track to invalidate. I mean, if you want to race on the limit, you gotta go to the edge of the track and use every bit of space to gain some time, and that going right on the line and risking a warning / penalty. But yeah, so on board right now with Trucker, first driver to set a hot lap. Really tricky corner right here. You have to wait till your wheel is straight to go full throttle. Oh, goes just a bit wide and managed to keep it on track. Pretty lucky here for El Trucker. So hoping we're gonna get the 116 on the first attempt, but let's find out what El Trucker sets, and it's a 116.7. Nicely done, and we get a McLaren coming up next. Oh no, he's on his hot lap, so it should be an Aston Martin. Where is Tom? Tom is right there. Tom coming through, 16.9, followed by a Red Bull Rocky 17 flat. Should see a Merc coming up next. No, maybe Gomez. Yeah, Gomez coming up, 117.87.07. Up next we're gonna get Eon, and Eon sets a 16.8. FaZe goes fastest, 16.5. Marcel fastest once again, 16.3. And his teammate, no, the Alpine coming up next on mediums. The Dagizu sets say 19.1 on mediums. Razi starting his first hot lap. Let's jump on Nathaniel coming at the end of sector 3. And Nathaniel sets a 17.2. What about the Ferrari coming up next? Oh, it's Trucker, and he invalidates. It's Trucker, but Lenikovsky invalidates. And Sten also invalidates. What about the Aston coming up next? Is it Gomez? Validation for Gomez. Who's next? Pretty sure the Red Bull's gonna go in. No, he's trying another one. Alright. What about Joe? Gonna start a hot lap. Let's go on board with Stan then. Sets the fastest sector 1 for now. Right on the line for Stan. Should see Razi setting up a time right now, and he goes 17.4. And Nathaniel trying to set a second hot lap as well, just in front of Stan. And looking great for Stan right now. Purple sector 2. Right on the edge. As I said, you need to use all the tracks you can. And coming at the start finish line, and Stan sets a 16.6. What about his teammate? And Joe coming up and sets a 16.5. P2 at the moment. Solid lap from Joe. Who's next? Razi. Trying to improve. And he goes in the pit, so he's gonna try. On a different sets of tire. Norjay. Let's stay on board with Norjay. I think he's gonna be the first one. Oh, and a bit of a snap. Wow, and nicely caught, but you will have to forget about this lap. So who's coming up next? I think it should be... Rocky's gonna go in. Maybe Tom or Gomez. Actually, it's gonna be Tom. So, Tom trying for the second time to set the fastest lap of quali. Not the greatest exit, but still managed to get fastest sector 1 and improves as well. And coming at the end of sector 2, let's find out what's going on. And right on the line, no invalidation, and Tom H managed to keep it on track and still looking to improve. 2 tenths up. And Tom sets his 16.7. What about his teammate coming up right next? Gomez improves his time, but not in position. Ferrari went up next, but no time. Clearly invalidation for Lenikovsky, who's coming up next. Should be El Trucker. Oh yeah, invalidate as well. FaZe. And FaZe sets the fastest lap. Provisional pole, 16.3. What about Norjay's second attempt? And goes in the pit once again, so was not happy with his current time. What about Nathaniel? Improves, but not in places. 16.9. Dalgizu, no, we get a Williams coming up next. No improvement in spot. Dalgizu sets a 16.6. What about Stan? Stan starting a new lap. Stay on board with El Chalker. And I think Lanzi is gonna go, and yeah, he sets a 17.8, so not the best lap from Lanzi. And El Chalker goes in the pit. So I'm gonna go for fresh pair of tire. Fresh pair of softs. Nathaniel invalidates, so I think he's gonna jump in. He should be. Rocky's on his out lap. What about Marcel? Invalidation for Marcel. The Gizu should be coming in. Yeah, not pushing. I think it's gonna be up to Mercedes, but Joe invalidates. What about Stan? Stan improves. And Nikovsky is gonna jump in the pit. And Razzie will start his hot lap. Let's stay on board with him for now. Looking to improve. Pretty sure he has way more pace than that. But let's find out. No improvement in Sector 1. And invalidations as well. Let's go on board with Rocky. Invalidation for Rocky. Sunset. Isn't she racing in Tier 3? Invalidation for Sunset. So, she's up for a challenge in Tier 1. What about Stan? No improvement for Stan. He's gonna jump right in the pit and go for last attempt. So I think next one is going to be Herbie to set a hot lap. Oh, it's Farico, actually, okay. So, a lot of car coming out of the pit lane, trying to set the fastest lap of this quali. On board right now with Herbie. Let's see if he improves Sector 1. Yes, he does. Purple Sector 1 and 1/10 up. We're gonna see a lot more traffic on track, so... Oh, and Herbie invalidates! He was chasing for P1 for sure. So who's gonna come next? It should be Rocky. Rocky's on 2 laps old softs. But I don't think it will matter if it's raining during the race. So he can burn them. As long as you improve, I guess. Let's stay on board with Rocky. Kinda glitching right now, but sets is 16.6. What about, up next is Ferrari invalidation for Lenikovsky. What about Eoin? FaZe is on his outlap. Right on the line, and Eoin sets a 16.6. Del Gizu jumps in the pit. What about the Aston Martin? Tom H sets a 16.5. AlphaTauri 17.1. Mercedes coming up next. Joe sets a 16.5. A lot of action going on track right now. Razi still not improving. Stan will start his hot lap. So is El Trucker. Herbie's second attempt on these tires. Still looking to improve and get P1. And he will do it. 16.2 so far. So FaZe will have pressure. Let's stay on board with FaZe. Let's see if we can improve. He did get purple sector 2. Let's find out what time he will set. And it's a 16.2 provisional pole for FaZe. Looking strong. Joe sets purple sector 2. And Gomez sets a 16.4. Wow, look at the grid, how close it is. And Joe sets a 16.3. Who's coming up next? And quali's over. As we see a Mercedes in the grass. What about El Trucker? Invalidation for El Trucker. Nathaniel looking to improve as well. And Nathaniel improves his time, but not in position. Lenikovsky crossed the line with Gomez. Invalidation for Gomez, so I think only Norje and Razi can improve. And Norje sets his 17.6. And Razi not improving. I think only Joe went in the pit, so I think that's going to be it for quali. Yeah, it is indeed. Really close field. So FaZe gets P1, followed by Marcel. P2, Joe P3, Gomez P4, Tom H P5, Eon P6, Stan P7, Rocky P8, Delgizu P9, El Trucker P10, Nathaniel P11, Lanzi P12, Lenikovsky P13, Farico actually P14, Razi P15, Norj P16. So P1 to P12 is within 6.5 tenths. So that's pretty close. But like someone said in the chat at the beginning, we should see some rain throughout the whole race, so that will be a game changer for the actual race. Yeah, raining right now. Don't know if it's gonna dry up throughout the race, but I guess we're gonna find out. So this will clearly mix things up. We didn't get that many races with rain in Tier 1, I think. So Eon says full wet the whole way. So don't know if the intensity of the rain is gonna go up or down. Everybody is on the intermediates for now. Will we see a switch to full wet? And really don't know the actual pace of everyone on wet conditions, so I guess we're gonna find out. So pit strategy says they will stay to intermediates for the whole race. Let's go to position change. So what are your thoughts on the race results? FaZe is on a streak. He won 2 races in a row. I think it was Belgium and Azerbaijan, if my memory's correct. And still starting P1. Oh, and we didn't go through the standings, forgot. But yeah, FaZe is currently leading Drivers' Championship. So he's looking strong without his main rival, Yari. And trying just too much to warm up the tires, and don't know what happened, but oh, and an Alpine in the grass as well. So that will mean cold tires at the start, and it's crucial on intermediates to set the temperature right. Wow, this is going to be interesting to see at turn 1 and 2. Because it's a pretty narrow turn. Oh wow, it's going to be crazy. So let's just wait on Delgizu to get to his rightful position. Three red lights, 5 red lights, and away we go in Portimao. And looking good so far for FaZe. Pretty strong start from Marcel and FaZe, actually. Poor start from both Mercedes. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving in the midfield. Delgizu lost the position, and there's a fight between Rocky, Stan, and Gomez, and Rocky lost a few places. El Trucker fell down the grid as well, and so did Gomez. And Farico is side by side with Lenikovsky. And this corner is going to be real tricky. And they're both still fighting. Oh, and the trucker made the move on Lenikovsky. Nicely done by outbraking his teammate, and Razi slipped. Yeah, I think it is. Somebody said it. Farico is using Sunset's account right now. And Lenikovsky side by side with Rocky entering turn 1. A really narrow turn, and I think Rocky made the move on the outside. And he's going wide next turn, so I think he should be giving the place back. And Gomez is having a go. Stan is having a go at Gomez. And so did Del Trucker on Farico. Lenzi made the move on Norjay. And Razi is all the way back. And FaZe and Marcel are already pulling away from the pack. El Trucker looking to gain places from poor qualifying results from him. And I think Eoin might be chasing down Tom right now. Let's see if he goes for a move. No, he doesn't. Gomez goes just a bit wide. A bit of a snap from El Trucker. Eoin still pushing Tom. Poor exit from Tom. Eoin clearly got a warning out of this. Dalgizu's really close to Eoin as well. And Eoin lost a bit of time at the end of Sector 3, and Dalgizu should make the move. Getting the slipstream right now using ERS. Eoin is defending. And get the defense right for Eoin. What about El Trucker? Can he make the move? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And El Trucker gets a 3-second time penalty. So did Gomez. Already with a 3-second time penalty. And the race is only 4 laps old. And Lenikovsky right in the back of Lenzi right in the back of Lenikovsky. And now Trucker makes the move on Gomez. Didn't see that one coming. And now Nathaniel is gonna have a look at Dalgizu. And now Furico gets a 3-second time penalty. And FaZe is pulling away from Herbie. Look at this, 2 seconds. And Herbie, 3.5 seconds on Joe. And Joe 2 seconds on Tom. So grid is pretty much stretched out at the front. Now Rozzy gets a 3-second time penalty. Now there's a fight going on between Delgizu, Nathaniel, Stan, El Trucker, even Gomez not too far away. Look how close the field is right now. So just a tiny mistakes and you lose maybe 1 places easily. Even 2. And Eoin gets a great exit. And now side by side with Tom. And gets the job done. But I think Tom got a better exit next turn, and no chance as Eoin closed the door. And now Delgizu will be looking at the back of Tom. Right in the slipstream. And Lanzi getting some encouragement from Max, his teammate in the overall Constructor Championship. Really close battle going on from P4 to P9. As Gomez did lose just a tiny bit of time on El Trucker and this train. El Trucker gets a great exit out of turn 8. Oh yeah, that's right, my bad. And Stan really close behind Nathaniel. And I think El Trucker is going to make the move on Stan. But Stan is trying everything he can to defend his place and successfully gets the job done, but El Trucker launches on the inside, but now Stan will get the inside of next turn, and now still side by side. Who's going to get the best of it? And I think Stan will. And no, and a bit of a snap from Gomez, and there's both still side by side. And Stan gets the job done, but will Stan jump on the inside? No, he does not. And I think that's going to be hit for now. El Trucker getting the job done, and now it will be up to Nathaniel to defend against El Trucker. Looking really aggressive, and so is Rocky right behind Farico. Now Lenzi is on the outside of Lenikovsky. Whoa, really close. And Lenzi is using the slipstream. Lenikovsky is clearly using ERS to defend. Lanzi has a look on the inside, but will go back. And Rocky still having a look, jumping on the inside of Farico. And who's gonna get better traction? Looking pretty good. And Farico will have the inside and will make the move, will defend. And Lanzi made the move on Lenikovsky. And now a Trucker pushing Nathaniel. As leaders are pulling away from the rest of the grid, and Tom gets the move done. And Delgizu goes for a move as well. Did Eon made a mistake? Or contact, maybe, I don't know. Not sure, not looking like there's damage. And look how close Nathaniel, Trucker, and Stan are. And Eon looking to get one place back. And now Trucker sends one on the inside. And now Stan will be looking at Nathaniel. Outbreaks him, gets the inside. Just a tiny bit of contact between Stan and El Trucker, I think. A lot of traffic in this corner. Oh, and there's Eon going just a bit wide. And look how close they are. That's insane. No place for a mistake. And Norjay looking good behind Lenikovsky. I don't think it is. I don't think it's drying up right now. Apparently there's going to be rain throughout the whole race. So, don't think we'll see slicks. But who knows? And Stan really close behind Nathaniel. And launch an attack on the inside. But I think... yeah, and he goes wide. And Nathaniel still defending. A bit of contact between Nathaniel and Stan. And I think Nathaniel will be in front. No! Stan is still fighting. Oh, that's really close. And Stan gets the job done. While El Trucker made the move as well on Eon. And Eon gets a 3-second time penalty. And I said it during quali, it's a really hard track to keep all four wheels within the line. Maybe Delgizu will have a go at Tom. Nope. And now Stan has that 3-second time penalty. So only face Marcel, Delgizu, Nathaniel, and Norjay managed to keep it all wheels on track so far. And now Trucker is catching up to Del Gizu. And Del Gizu is also catching up to Tom. And Stan as well on Eon. So Tom will have a lot of work to do to defend against two drivers. Del Gizu is right behind Tom, using the slipstream. Goes for the outside line. And that's the job done. And oh, there has been contact between Del Gizu and Tom spun. Wow, that is so unfortunate. Hope he doesn't have damage. And now Rocky right behind Farico, and they're both still side by side, switching position. Farico as the inside. A nice defense from Farico. And Stan is right behind Eon, pushing him through every corner. And I think Lanzi will launch an attack as well. Is he sending it on the inside? Wow, that was really close. El Trucker gets his second time penalty. Well, that was really, really close. And Rocky and Farico are still fighting. And Rocky goes wide. So Lanzi will make the move as Rocky made a mistake. And FaZe is 4 seconds up. Herbie 11, well, almost 12 seconds on Joe. And Joe almost 4 seconds on Del Gizu. They have a lot of pace. Look at FaZe. Entering turn 1 right now. As the whole field is actually coming up at the end and at the start finish line. And now Lenikovsky, Rocky lost 2 position. And I think Rocky's in the pit. Yes, he's in the pit. I think he got damage. Don't know when though, but and look at El Trucker pushing Del Gizu on the outside. We'll send one, but I think Del Gizu will be able to defend on this one. Still has his nose on the inside, goes back behind, and they will both live to fight another day. Not too many fights going on. Maybe Lanzi on Farico. Perico is defending. But Lenzi has the slipstream and looking like he has straight line speed as well. And will El Trucker send one at the next corner? And Sten makes the move. El Trucker still try the inside line. And I think that will be it. And yes, he does get in front of Del Gizu. Ooh, and 5-second time penalty for Stan cutting the corner. Don't. Well, maybe he will be able to get it removed. And El Trucker is already pulling away from Del Gizu. Oh, and he's actually catching up to Joe. So El Trucker has a look at the at a place on the podium. And now Lenzi still chasing down Perico. But Perico defends and keep his position, and Linikovsky gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, but Perico made a tiny mistake and wheel banging right now, and he's actually pushing him on the grass. Who's gonna brake late? And I think it was just a tiny bit aggressive from Perico's defense. I mean, you can't push somebody on the grass like this. And now, look at El Trucker. How fast he's catching up to Joe. And I think he's gonna have a go on the next straight. And look at FaZe. He's setting up a fastest lap on lap 17. This guy has a lot of pace. Where are you at, Yari? Now, El Trucker. I don't think it will be enough. And no, it's not. And Lenzi and Perico. Oh, and I think Linikovsky hit the wall. No apparent damage. No safety car. And Lenzi still stuck behind Perico, losing quite a lot of time on Gomez and the rest of the grid. And Lenzi sends one on the outside. And look at the wheel banging going on between those two. And I think Lenzi will get the best of it. Will Perico sends one on the inside? No, he doesn't. Nicely done by Lenzi for sticking up, and FaZe goes with another fastest lap. Let's see if El Trucker will send it on Joe. And Joe is defending right now. El Trucker attacking, getting the slipstream. And still won't be enough, but El Trucker is now right in the gearbox of El Trucker, and he's gonna send one on the inside. Just a tiny bit of contact, and maybe Del Gizu will have a look at Joe as well. And what a send from El Trucker, and now Del Gizu is making a dummy on Joe. And Joe is under threat right now. And look at the fight going on between Io and Nathaniel, and Gomez. Ooh, just a tiny snap from Nathaniel. Nicely caught. Faye still sets the fastest lap. 26.4. Almost 20 laps in. And Eon is actually losing time on Stan. So he's actually slowing down Nathaniel and Gomez, and Denikovsky and Marcel gets a 3-second time penalty, and now Joe will Joe will make the move on Delgizu. And Nathaniel, having a look on the inside, goes back in. Only 4 drivers without penalties. FaZe goes fastest once again. And now Trucker got it almost 3-second gap between him and Joe. So looking good for El Trucker. And Delgizu right behind Joe, and Nathaniel right behind Eoin as well, followed by Gomez. Lenikovsky enters the pit. Is it drying up? It's still raining just a tiny bit. Let's see what he's gonna go for. No, it still enters, so. Oh, and Lenikovsky DNF'd. So everybody is in the points right now. And double yellow in sector 1. And it's Lenikovsky's car coming out on track. Don't know why. He did DNF in the pit lane. Hope it's not gonna cause a safety car. Okay, we're good. Oh, and Eon goes wide and gets a 3-second time penalty. And so did Delgizu, and Delgizu is having a go at Joe. I think he went wide at turn 1. Now Federico gets a 3-second time penalty, and Tom gets the move done on Federico. And now Razi is fighting with Norjay. But Razi will be in front. And Tom and Sunset are having a go right now. Still side by side. Oh, and a bit of a banging. Don't know if Farico's rear end snapped, but they made contact. And Farico will stay in front. Now Tom using slipstream. Almost out of ERS. Will stick his nose on the inside. Is Farico going for the switchback? And yes, he does. And nicely done by Farico. Tom goes wide. And now we're down to 3 drivers without penalty, and a bit of a push from Lenzi. Don't know if Farico brake a bit too much. And look at Stan. Right in the gearbox of Dalgizu. And this Alpine is in a Merc sandwich right now. Mercedes are looking good this weekend. Did Tom get damaged? Hope he didn't. Because he's actually losing time. Okay, so he's not going in the pit, so no damage. And Dalgizu is having to defend on Stan because Stan is right next to him, and I think Stan got better traction. And now Tom gets a 3-second time penalty. There's also a fight going on between Ion and Nathaniel Gomez-Lanzi. Let's go through time penalties. Wow, lots of penalties. Herbie with 3 seconds. Don't think it's gonna bother him. El Trucker now up to 6 seconds. Joe 6 seconds. Dalgizu 3 seconds. 10, 8 seconds. Eoin 9 seconds. So he's gonna lose few places. Gomez 3 seconds. Lenzi 3 seconds. Farico 9 seconds. Tom 6 seconds. Rozzy 6 seconds. And Rocky 6 seconds. And Nathaniel really pushing on Eon and putting the pressure. And so does Gomez. Look at this battle going on. And now Lenzi's gonna get slipstream out of Gomez. And Tom gets it moved on Razzie. Or did Razzie launch an attack? I don't know. Lenzi's still behind. So there's a fight going on for P4 right now. Oh, and Lanzi was just a tiny bit too aggressive on his ERS, and I think he got a warning. Now Stan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and clearly Stan made a tiny mistake because he lost time to Dalgizu, and now Razzie Now with the 3-second time penalty. So Joe will have to defend against Del Gizu. And he's gonna have to defend alone because his teammate lost a tiny bit of time. But I think he's gonna try and catch up and put the pressure on Del Gizu. And look at FaZe flying. And what about Lenzi? Putting the pressure on Gomez. And Razi is also putting pressure on the other Aston Martin. So Aston and AlphaTauri are having a go. Both of them are fighting each other. And Del Gizu, I think he's gonna have a go. No, he doesn't. And what about Lenzi? Gomez, not that much ERS, and Lenzi is pushing Gomez out of the corner, and now Norje is fighting with Razi, and he made the move, and now Nathaniel on Eon jumps on the inside and get the job done. But Eon is right behind, so no place for mistakes. So Stan managed to catch Del Gizu once again. And really close between Joe and Del Gizu. And what about Lenzi? Now Norje is launching an attack on Tom. Is he gonna send one on the inside? Really close. Can he make the move now? That won't be enough. And Tom H remains in front of Norje. And what a dummy by Stan. He made the move on the outside. Well, he faked the move on the outside and jumped on the inside. That was actually pretty insane. And I think Nathaniel made just a tiny mistakes, or Eon. But again, what a move by Stan. He faked the outside and went for the inside. That was insane. And now, both Mercedes are working together. Are they gonna have a fight between each other? Because they're both scoring a lot of points right now. Five laps to go. Will there be team orders? Because Stan is looking like he has just a tiny bit more pace than Joe. Let's see penalties once again. Oh, but Stan has way more penalties than Joe, so. But I think they're gonna have a fight. They're actually gonna have a fight. And Joe has to pull away from Del Gizu because he's gonna lose a place to him. So he has to get the 3-second cap. And we get an Alpine! And it's Del Gizu! Oh, that's unfortunate. So that's good for Joe. And now Stan has made the move on his teammate, but went wide. So Joe gets his position back, and now Lanzi right behind El Gizu. And what a weekend for Mercedes and AlphaTauri as well. Alfa Romeo, I mean. Now Herbie picks up another 3-second time penalty. Tom is being pushed by Norjay. And now Norjay is having a look at Tom. Went on the sausage curb and got pushed just a tiny bit by Razzie. And now Norjay lost a place, trying to gain one. Will he be able to get his place back before the end of the race? But he doesn't have a penalty, so... And Razzie does. So does Tom. Oh, and a bit of a snap from Razzie, and Norjay gets his place back. And now Gomez made the move on Eon. Didn't see that one coming. And now Del Gizu is gonna have a look. And Norjay is still chasing down Tom. He wants to get this place on track, clearly. As the penultimate lap is underway. And Del Gizu is trying to gain as many places he can due to that tiny mistake he did and went up in the sandbox. And now side by side with Eon. and gets the job done. Will Norje be able to make the move on Tom? Just a tiny push. And Rossi is having a look as well. Runs a bit wide and look at FaZe. Sets a fastest lap on the penultimate lap. On 32 laps old intermediates. That is crazy. That just shows that he has the pace to stay in front. And there's yellow. Sector 1. Rocky spun. And Gomez picks up another 3 seconds time penalty. And I think we're gonna keep it to the end to see final results. As the final lap is underway. And there's a Mercedes in the sand. And it's 10. He made a mistake. He will lose a lot of place. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Wow. Ooh. And now Stan lost it once again. And he ends up in the wall. And that is a disaster for him. He was looking good even though he had a lot of penalties. And FaZe is coming up to the start-finish line. Followed by Herbie. And now there's still... And Tom got damage. Oh no, it's 10. Don't know what happened between those three actually. But Razi made the move on Norje and Tom. And Stan is having trouble to keep it on track. So FaZe is P1, Marcel is P2, El Shocker P3, Joe comes P4, Nathaniel P5, Gomez P6, Delgizu P7, Lenzi P8, Eoin P9, P10 for Federico. And what about Razi? Razi P11 and Norje gets P11 due to Razi's penalty. And Tom comes P13. Stan will come P14. And Rocky should be the last one. Oh, and Rocky was lapped, so... Well, that was a crazy race. And yeah, I was about to say that. I think driver of the day is El Trucker. I think he started P10 or P11 and managed his way up on the podium on the last step. But that's really good, and what a race by FaZe. He was way too fast for everyone. And great race for Marcel as well. So final results. After a lot of chaos during the last lap and an unfortunate result for Stan. So FaZe wins at Portimao, followed by Herbie P2, P3, El Trucker, Joe comes P4, Nathaniel P5, Gomez P6, Delgizu P7, Lenzi P8, Eoin P9, Federico P10, Norje P11, Razi P12, Dom P13, Stan P14, Rocky P15, and Lenikovsky D and F. So Phase is looking good and looking to extend his lead at the Drivers' Championship and looking to win this season. So that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. And next weekend is going to be insane. I don't know if it's going to rain or if it's going to be dry, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be an insane an insane race at Monaco. Really, really narrow track for these kinds of cars, because these F1s are actually quite big, and I think there will be a lot of chaos and a lot of safety cars. But I guess we'll find out next weekend, and I hope you enjoyed this race. Bye, everyone.